All right, all right, all right. What's going on, good people out there in YouTube land? Once again, we are back to do what we do. Southern Word is definitely in the building. I am your host for today, Rashad the Poet. I want to welcome you out to the Youth Poet Laureate semifinals. Yeah. All right, so I need your love out there in YouTube land. I need them likes, I need them hearts, I need them comments in the chat. I need you to make it do what it do, because we see you. And although our poets are here, you know what I'm saying, in this little virtual world where they can't really touch you like they want to touch you with their words, they're going to touch you with their words. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, because it makes sense to me. Because this is what we're doing as poets, man. I came here to get it lit, get it all the way live, because we are about to go down. We have some incredible artists, poets who are about to come up here to put their bid in to be the next Youth Poet Laureate. Because again, this is what it's all about, us spreading the word, them being able to spread their gift, spread their voice, let their voices be heard, and using their gift to enact change in this city and beyond. And that's what it is all about. So I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited, because we are about to get into it. So listen, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing kicked off. And listen, we snap, right? We got the virtual snaps going. We're used to that by now. But I also need to see some fire emojis in that chat on YouTube. I need to see some waves in that thing on YouTube, some palm trees, like whatever you're feeling to show them love, throw it in that YouTube chat so that they understand and know that you are there and that you are feeling what they are doing. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off. Coming up first, bringing our first poet to the virtual mic. Show some love, make some noise, give it up for a week, show a week some love. Virtual snaps in the building, let's go, hey.
Why not try to make things right? It might make a difference. Try to make amends to loved ones before making wrong decisions. Let's all get together before all the violence. Sit down with silencing and hearing all the true colors. We all got each other's back. Why destroy that? Without each other, what does that make us? We got to unify our country and set better mindsets. Lost in my thoughts connecting with the universe. Trying to get away from reality, I'm just a dreamer.
Show some love for a week. Give it up. Thank you for kicking us off. It's always hard to kind of be the first poet and the last poet. So gotta show a lot of love for a week for holding it down, doing her thing. That's what it's all about. So listen, we're gonna show some love to each and every poet that's coming up here. We're gonna do some school shout outs here in a minute. We're gonna do a lot of good stuff here just to keep this thing rolling along, and we can see what everybody is checking in from and what everybody is representing and all of that good stuff. We got some judges in the building who have a super hard job of picking a winner tonight, even though each and every one of our poets are winners, but there can only be a few that will make their way to the next round, because it is definitely going down. All right, so without further ado, moving on to poet number 2. Show some love, make some noise, give it up for Kiana. Woo, 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 woo.
Kiana, key on I am a fabric, a judge, and supposedly sexy. Not exactly ghetto, but not a Mary Beth either. Too privileged for free lunch, but too poor to pay for it. Systematically sitting squarely in the middle. My mother's middle name. Derived from the same fabric my granny wraps me in, covered head to toe in love of a God that I can't seem to love back. I sit in his home, adorned in the finest fabric my granny can afford. She gifted my mother a name with no meaning, opened the door for her to create her own worth, and mama did, but her middle name never shined enough for her. See, she is a star, in the biggest galaxy and wants the sun and moon for me. So name me after the meteors, the stardust and constellations. Give my name meaning bigger than any trepidations, Kiana. There's no set meaning to who I am or what I do. No vision to hold or look up to, just 5 simple letters, creating a simple sound, given to a girl ready to tear the world down with a hand soft like silk. A mind crafted by divinity and a butt that disappears in jeans. A mouth smarter than it should be and eyes bright as my future might be. Beliefs believe, but never believed, and a struggle that still goes unseen. I am a poet who never knew what her poetry meant. An artist with all of the canvas, but with none of the paint, but with all of the water and dreams to create, with a heart so big. He wrote y'all a letter. Dear everyone, after the last presidential debate, as a queer Black female, you are failing me completely. My rights to life should not be a debate topic. I am not an abomination or a representation of our Lord Satan or a lost soul needing redemption. I'm a Christian hunted by Christians who seek salvation in the valley between politics and religion. My rights to life should not be your debate topics, but they are. And with this short letter, I give you my ending line. Nothing too deep or sublime, just a fleeting thought that thinks it's all mine, Kiana. Q-I-A-N-A. 5 simple letters, creating my simple sound, given to a girl ready to burn a country down.
Hey, give it up for Kiana. Show some love. Snapping our fingers off right here in the chat, letting them know what it is. Very dope piece. Very dope piece. We got a lot of love here in our chat here in the room. We got snapping so hard, my fingers are sore. We got fantastic. That was amazing. Very powerful. She's good. I'm jealous. There's a whole bunch of S's on that, jealous. All right. And this is what's up. This is what we're talking about, right? Showing love, letting poets know that we see them, that they are representing, and that they are doing their thing. I see y'all in the YouTube chat, blowing that YouTube chat up as well. Continue to show love over there. Man, this is what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about. Spreading love and letting folks know that this is how it's going down. So we're gonna keep it rolling right along, man. I got my little, you know what I'm saying, DJ 101 happening right now. We're making it do what it do. Show some love for the next poet. Give it up for my man, Clayton. Give it up for Clayton, everybody. Showing some love. Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. What's it like to be Black? For those of you who don't know, it's like having your body carry more bullets than promises. It's like me writing another Black poem in Black ink, but hoping I'll be seen as white as the paper I'm writing it on, even though I have 3 bullet holes on the side to remind me that I'm still Black because the red, white, and blue margins don't matter. It's like you thinking that my history books tells me enough about my history, not knowing that there's more to Black people than shackles and bus boycotts. It's like not knowing what part of Africa your bloodline originated from, but being told by the KKK to go back to where we came from. And I know that this might be daunting to hear, but baby, I'm not even finished yet. This is only part 1. And part 2 begins at my funeral because I forgot to hold my head down when walking down the street to the store, Trayvon, or I forgot to use my signal light, Sandra, or I shouldn't have reached for my ID, Philando. Just know that my death was not an accident. And I know hearing this might make you uncomfortable, but your police officers make me uncomfortable when walking down the street at night in 30-degree weather, but I can't grab my hoodie because that's a death wish, but I was just too cold. I'm sorry, master. I mean, officer. I mean, teacher, judge, boss. I mean, America. What's it like to be Black? It's like me not having enough to say with this poem, but being angry enough to continue writing it. It's like you still thinking we're privileged while you spend your summers flying to different countries to learn new cultures, but then you come back home to steal more of ours, our hips, our dance moves, our music, our natural curly hair, the same things you once called ghetto. It's you still referring to Africa as a country. It's you thinking that this poem is a result of reverse racism. It's like me memorizing what the gunshots sounded like and you barely remembering my name. It's you thinking that white privilege is a myth. It's a Black man getting charged with life in prison for a misdemeanor, but a white man getting less than that for shooting another Black kid. It's Confederate flags being hung around my city and me having to be okay with that. It's me thinking that this poem is enough to explain to you why we're always labeled as angry. Thanks.
Give it up one time for Clayton. Show him some love. Yeah. We got that was fire in the chat. Whole lot of love. Looking here on YouTube, getting a lot of love over there as well. This is what it's all about, people. Young people with a voice, speaking what they feel, feeling what they speak, bringing all this heat. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna vibe out, man. We vibing out all day, which nothing but fire, just fire, burn it down, right? This is what we got. OMG, speechless in the YouTube chat. Dope, my man, in the YouTube chat. This is what we do, y'all. This is what we do. This is what we do. These young folks making it happen. Just motivation. I love the I'm sorry for my master line. I did not show up ready to get hit that hard. Dang, so powerful. That's very deep. Again, this is all the love that's happening in the chats on YouTube and in our Zoom room here live at the Youth Poet Laureate semifinals. Let's keep it rolling right along. Moving on to poet number 4. Show some love, make some noise, give it up for Issa. Show Issa some love, everybody. Hey.
Asphyxiation. I cannot tell if the sanitation workers or the mayors are trying harder to erase the bloodstains. Black bodies screaming for air, their lives remembered by crimson concrete. Men in blue believing they are strong because they can take away life with the force of their kneecap, pressed against a man with a name and a past and a future. Someone must tell them, remind them with poster boards and agonizing grief that the pigment of a human skin isn't theirs. They cannot come through with an apostrophe S in their Crown Victoria, take it home in cop cars now reduced to flame, to feed to their starving prejudices. With megaphones and no right to vote, they use clamor for redress of grievances. But the later fruit of slave owners would rather redress racism in a pointed white hood. We know there is a world in which melanin does not determine what we do with our lives. A slave revolt with no slaves, fueled by spirit, empowered by pen and voice, knowing it could be better. The day you are reading this, hearing this, 2 in the United States will be shot by police. Divinity of life destroyed in seconds. Maybe they are like you, or maybe not. Maybe they too sat in bed with a story, cradled in blankets, no, now swaddled in suffocation, mug of tea spilling, human blood spilling. Maybe that is too painful to think about for a being made of the same pieces of the universe as you.
Very, very powerful. Yes, show some love. Give it up for Issa one more time. Loved it. Incredible, man. This is what it's all about, y'all. Showing love to each other, showing love to yourself, right? And showing love to our community. Always dope. Every time you spit, Issa's always dope. Very good job. Somebody says, great job, sis. That was amazing. We got really, really good. Snap, snap, snap. Again, all this love that we get in the chat, right? It really hit me. It really hit me hard. All right. This is what it's all about. Showing love to each other, building this community up. Because that's how we continue to grow together. That's how we continue to prosper. Is when we show love to each other. We all move towards our best selves and all this greatness that lies on the inside. And we just vibing out, y'all, having a good time. Having a good time out here. Making it do what it do. So moving right along. Coming up next, show some love. Give it up for Latifah. Show Latifah some love, everybody.
You asked me about my struggles. They started long before I was born, my ancestors making the impossible happen, hoping to make their dreams become a reality as they witnessed these struggles happening. Through their eyes, they've seen the world through many layers, society at different angles, people from different perspectives. They've seen it all, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, only hoping for their young to have a good life and make their way to the promised land. For their young to pursue a life beyond imaginations, within many bright possibilities beyond limitations, where they can grow without hatred and fear like the great Martin Luther King and those before him, where they can soon rise and complete that dream. So you asked me again about my struggles. These were not my struggles, but rather our struggles we faced over the past years, left in the shadow by those who fought and declared for a light to be shined on, a voice to be heard. These struggles done from our ancestors hoping to be reached. Sweat, blood, and tears, they've been through it all, step by step, as they've climbed the unreachable, trying to hold on to the slightest hope, to where one day they can tell their children, we've made it to the promised land. We need to know now that change will happen, and we need to stick together no matter what our colors are or education levels we're on. That no matter what society you're in or how you view people, we're still together. We'll make it with you, together and forever. Thank you.
Great job, great job. Give it up for Latifah one more time. And I promise you that was her. I was not being a ventriloquist. She was really spitting fire. Great job, great job. Again, man, this is what it's all about. We're trying to build together. And when you're able to use your words and use your experiences as a teenager to talk about things that are important, right? We get people to listen when we're actually talking about things that matter. And that's what you all are doing. You all are talking about things that are important. You all are talking about things that matter. And that is literally what it's all about. So incredible job, great job. We got great job in the chat. I can relate. We got some of y'all are so good. Who's training y'all? I'm calling Cap. I'm so jealous. It was an amazing poem, right? These are all the comments that we're getting from fellow poets in the chat. And this is what it's all about. This is what we are talking about. This is what it's all about. All right. So again, like I said earlier, we got some judges in the building, and I'm going to be going throughout the remainder of the show, kind of just talking about the judges a little bit and reading their bios a little bit. So we have Ash, is a teen mentor at Nashville Public Library, Studio NPL. She is a professional seamstress and a gardener. She loves to grow and make her own hot sauce out in Madison. So if you need some hot sauce in your bag, swag, then go ahead and holler at Ash. She will hook it up for you. That's our first judge, Ash, holding it down, representing. All right, so let's keep the show rolling right along. Coming up next, show some love, make some noise, give it up for Charlotte. Give Charlotte some love, everybody.
Dear God, I still have that scar on my right hand from when I smashed my finger open in that door. But you know about that already, don't you? You were there, and the trembling of my 10 years old, you watched the streak of blood crust my finger, watched as a white scar healed over an old wound. God, I offer you no wound in telling you this, but I don't know what to do. I think I'm starting to fall for someone. I mean, that time we sat at lunch, when our hands slipped into my string fingers, a hurricane of calm stretched over me, and I discovered a feeling I had no name for. And God, isn't that love? Isn't love like having your favorite tune play on the radio, but have it cut short by the engine? Or that little piece of summer in November, because that's her to me. And God, tell me, when you stole stars from the sky to build me, did you intend for these bones to be in prison? Because I feel like a guest in my own body, because I'm trying to hide from this. And people tell me this is fixable, that if I take a scalpel, I can cut this tumor of lifestyle out of myself. Or if I'd like something less violent, I can ask you, pray to you. God, I've been praying on this so long that my knees have cracked on the floor of your church. I've spent months spilling my confessions to the breeze and still no answer. Hell, the only answer I've gotten is from my church quoting, "Men shall not lie with men as with a woman. It is an abomination." But I'm tired of lying to you by stuffing this desire under my rib cage, by locking my heartbeat so it doesn't sync with hers. And isn't lying a sin too? God, I know you named this sin. And me, sinner, for this my fears are so sharp. I'm scared to become fangs, because what if I end up tangled in her arms like a white flag? Then what happens to my soul? My soul, my. God, if this love is sin, why did you paint rainbows across skies, letting them become flags? Or how pride parades always bask in the sun? Or gay people even existing at all? And how do you explain the way she waits for me on Church Avenue? Teaches me that scars are only permanent if you let them be. How can I not fall for someone like that? When I tell you this, I offer only healing, only ever healing. So yes, God, I'm bi. And I don't have any more apologies for that. I will no longer swallow parts of myself to fit in this idea of saint body. And this doesn't mean I don't love you. I'm just tired of calling this love wound when it never cut or bled or scarred. This love is healing for the both of us. But you knew that already, didn't you?
All right, give it up for Charlotte one time. Represent. It's like you just dropped the mic, Charlotte, and it just was like, okay, gotta drop the mic. So it just went back to me. It was just like, drop the mic. Too fired. Just gotta get off. Right. So in the chat, we got is in line a sin too. She's trying to make me cry. Honest. We got right. We got this hits hard. Woo, she is fire. Goosebumps poem. Woo, that was so good. Jaw dropped. Nothing but love in the chat. Nothing but love in the chat. One more time for Charlotte. Show us some love. We got Yas. Yas and this girl. What? I swear y'all know how to put some exclamation points on some words. I'm telling y'all do. All right, let's go over here to YouTube. We got YouTube. Great work, young folks. Great job. Powerful word. Nice work. We got some great little love popping off in the chat over here on YouTube as well. Again, this is what we do. We're building. And this is what it's all about. It made my day. Fell in love with those words. This is what it's all about, guys. Continuing to push forward. Youth Poet Laureate semifinals, making it do exactly what it do. And coming up next, our next poet, show some love, make some noise, give it up for Zion. Show Zion some love. Zion's in the building. Go ahead and start over. Unmute yourself, Zion. Unmute yourself.
Little juice boxes plus 5-year-olds equal kinder. There was a 5-year-old girl who was eager to learn. A caramel, semi-tall, short young lady smart, my bad, who dreams are as the size of planets. Her teacher was a meteorite and she was defenseless. The planet that she loved so much was destroyed, and the pieces of her mind that she could not control, of the thoughts that were racing through her mind. The words that she spoke to the Congress that day weren't too kind. She just, I can't explain into words what happened that day to that girl. But all I know is that she was not happy playing with Play-Doh and rushing around in the parking lot and playing in the field and jumping rope and everything that little kids do when they go to kindergarten, sent off to school on a school bus on 6 a.m. in the morning, to come home at 2 in the afternoon with tears in her eyes. And she didn't feel like that special little princess that her mother told her she would be. She felt like she was not perfect enough for this world, that she didn't want to go to school or go back to her palace. And she was so quick and so speechless that nobody noticed what came to her. Her mind, her thoughts, her everything were lost in the abyss. The stars were deflated. The earth was degraded. Everything was gone. Until this day, 10 years later, she wonders if she would have said something, what would have changed? Would something change? Would something make it better? Would she be okay?
All right. Show some love for Zion. Give it up for Zion one time. Great job, Zion. Great job. All right, we got in the chat. Wow, we got that imagery. So good, girl. This one got me in tears, right? Nothing but love in the chat. Great job, Zion. Got clap, clap, clap. Showing you a whole bunch of love, because that's what it's all about. That's what we do. It's all about growing together and rising to the top, right? And even in the midst of, like, you know, you forgot to unmute yourself and you was just like, oh, you know what, let me just start over. I got it, ain't nothing. Boop, unmute, then back to this poetry and give you this business, because that's what it's all about. That's a life lesson for us all, man. Even in the midst of sometimes things messing up, we just keep going, right? We just figure out a way to keep going and making it happen. And you did. And that's what we do. And that's what it's all about. And that's the beauty in spoken word. That's the beauty in building this community. And that's the beauty in you guys doing it at such a young age, is because guess what? The older you get, the more adversity that life is going to throw your way. And if you start to figure out how to work your way through adversity now, when you can become an adult and it starts to hit you really, really hard, you're not going to even be really fazed by it, because you've learned how to articulate your words, you learn how to express yourself, and you've learned how to keep it moving. And that's what it's all about. All right, so rolling on to our next judge, we got, you know, this, you know, we got something in common here. You know what I'm saying? It's spelled a little differently, pronounced a little differently, but y'all will get it in a second. Our next judge is Richard Peel, right? Currently an assistant director of the Black Cultural Center over at Vanderbilt, studied African-American studies at Purdue, and performed poetry as a student there. Fun fact, today is his 2-month wedding anniversary. So we got to show a whole bunch of love for 2 months in this thing. That's what it's all about, man. Congratulations to you and your wife on y'all's 2-month anniversary, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, keeping it rolling right along. Coming up next, our next poet. Show some love. Give it up for Maria. Show Maria some love. Yes, yes, yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria Librado. I would like to share a reflection with you of how the world and society are today. The world is a whole, but it has become millions of pieces. Why? The reason is that we have damaged our humanity, but we don't fix it. We just overlook the problem and continue with our lives. We hope everything goes well, but once we stop or redo something, what are our first reactions? We usually get angry, stressed out, or start complaining because it doesn't satisfy us. However, We forget that children and people of all ages who have disabilities struggle every single day, and they set a great example for all of us to follow. They face challenges, pain, sadness, and even discrimination. They don't complain. They don't give up. They always have a smile on their face. We exclude these individuals, but we forget that they have a heart and feelings. They all have the qualities we have, but we ignore them and make them feel disqualified. Pablo Picasso said, "There's only one way to look at things until someone shows us how to look at them with different eyes." If we look much deeper, we discover unique talents. We must strive so that these human beings feel included in society. We must guide our future generations to accept everyone equally and make the earth a better place. If we put ourselves in their shoes, what would happen? We would isolate ourselves mentally and physically. So knowing that the life they lead is not easy, why not change? We all have a vision and a life ahead of us. We must love and appreciate each other equally and be each other's motivation. So, will we lead and put all the pieces together so at the end we can shine? That's what we need. We need to come all together in a place where we all have hand by hand, where we all want each other, where we be our motivation for each other. Thank you. God bless you.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Show some love. Give it up for Maria. Yes, yes, we're getting a lot of good love already in the chat. Somebody said she pulled out Picasso, y'all. Right, right. She has my heart. Somebody said, yes, okay. I live from this new perspective. Thank you. So good. Love the confidence that you speak with. Very positive, period. Society needs to accept everyone. You spoke my exact thoughts. She came with it. And an outro. Yes, this is what it's all about. Showing love, man, love. And I love the fact that, again, you all have your own style. Nobody sounds like the person before or the person after. Everybody is just doing their own thing in their own authentic voice. And literally, this is what it's all about. It's all about just not being a copycat, not trying to bite somebody else, just doing you and having confidence to just be the best you that you can be. And you all are doing that and y'all are killing it. I'm glad I'm not a judge because I could not pick. So I'm just going to keep it 100. All right, so as we speak about judges, we have one more judge that I want to talk about here before we get into our next poet. So we have Emily Joy Allison, is a longtime spoken word poet and a published author whose first book will be released with Broadleaf Books in March. She is also getting her master's degree at Vanderbilt Divinity School. Emily has a dog named Harley and a cat named Debbie, and they are best friends. It is the Harley and Debbie Show, coming soon to a TV near you. That's what's up. That is our final judge of the afternoon. All right, so we are going to keep it rolling right along. Coming up next, our next poet. Show some love. Give it up for Miriam. Show some love. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. I've always hated that expression because words do hurt. They are a two-edged sword. Words can cut your heart out and rip your soul into pieces, but they can also put you back together. I promise you, if I had $1 for every time someone said something that hurt, I would be very, very wealthy. We all have our tormentors. We all know what it's like to be taunted for being, well, you. We are told that we need to change, to fit into this deafening world, to be like everyone else. Society will tear you apart and grind you into the ground, just to be anyone but yourself. We all have a story. Here's one of mine. I was maybe in 3rd or 4th grade. I was made fun of by these kids for being me. The problem is, every time I told a teacher, I was told something along the lines of, sticks and stones can hurt my bones, but words can never hurt me. They're looking for a reaction. Just stop listening to them. Looking back at what they said, I can't help but gawk. How on earth am I supposed to stop listening to them? I can't shut my ears. I listened to them for a while until I had enough. I told my parents about it, and well, they stopped a bit. I'm not bullied anymore today, but people say things that hurt from time to time. Perhaps they don't really mean it, but God only knows for sure. Words are powerful, and the way you use them matter. Words can be forgotten, words can never be forgotten, but they can be forgiven, so use them wisely. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never be forgotten, but they can be forgiven. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Miriam, let them know. A very powerful message, very powerful piece. Someone said this needs to be taught in school. Wish I heard this piece when I was younger. This is powerful. Yes, I know how you feel. It's very powerful and relatable. Again, this is what it's all about, man. Look, y'all are out here healing people, healing yourselves, and letting people feel and know the power of poetry and the power of words and how we can use words to actually build each other, right? And not tear each other down. Life lessons in the chat. This is what it's all about. Man, I'm so excited. Y'all out here killing this. This is what it's all about. As we roll along, roll along, roll along. So listen, it's so funny because we pull names randomly, and this is kind of how it works. But we have like 3 M's in a row, right? And so here's our third M coming up to do a thing, show some love, give it up for Mari. Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm a superhero. My dad used to tell me I came from people strong enough to bend steel, that we're more Hulk than housewife, and when I came home from school, I'd be his sidekick. When we saved the world the first time, I watched my dad shapeshift on a cop car when my little brother was born. He turned into a mild-mannered man right before my eyes and broke free from his handcuffs. After we started to drive away, I could feel this superpower gravity on us. I watched him grab the heavy off his chest when we stopped at the liquor store, and he grabbed fire in his bare hands and swallowed it. By the time we gotten used to saving the world, I could watch my dad, I could watch my dad melt every day in a glass of scotch. He could lift an entire house and he wouldn't even need to use his hands. He would tell us about his grandmother, the best of all superheroes, that my last name is a note not to forget and my middle's a memo more than a memory, that this was the power of sound. And I was named after her as a reminder that I could be just as great. My dad's costume consisted of a quiet mask and pressed pants. His cape was made of cubicle chair leather wrapped around his neck. I used to ask him who the villain was, who he was fighting every night. He said, "Naya, not every evil has a face." His wife didn't understand our powers like we did. My dad spent too many nights fighting and he forgot where to put his hands. See, she didn't understand only superheroes needed to jump off buildings. The night I saved the world, my little sister was still asleep. The red and blue lights set on the curtains after his wife called 911. When my dad hit her, the sirens mixed in with the screaming so loud I couldn't hear the difference. There is a reason superheroes don't work with the police. There isn't a cartoon red pow when you hear a gun. Even Flash knew you can't outrun a bullet. Even anti-heroes in your comic books pick up their swords to fight because you don't see the good guys with a 9mm in your dad's head for living. The night I saved the world, I got the power of invisibility. I saw my father hit his wife while she held the phone. I took my brother into his room and told him to sing as loud as possible. That night, there was a police gun at my dad's head, and I wondered if he had the power to be bulletproof. If he were villain or victim. I didn't want my origin story to start like Spider-Man or Superman or Iron Man or Batman or my dad. If I was meant to fight something, this would be a great time to get my hands back from my brother's ears because they felt like cinder blocks. Drywall foam, soundproof shields, superpower, and a name all at once. My name is a warning label and an origin story all at once. Mari, shields, and I did just that. So maybe I am a superhero. Not every evil has a face, but every hero has a purpose. My hands were barricades around him. My costume was a winter pink penguin onesie on the bed of my brother's room, and my cape was a blanket over our heads. In the window, I could see our faces, reflected into the night sky like a signal, a beam of light, and I could remember my name. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Mari with the fire. Very dope, very dope. People are pulling lines up. Not every evil has a face. That was a very dope line. OMG, that was awesome. Gets me every time. Gosh, wow, awesome. So deep. Love that poem. A lot of love in the chat. That's what we want to do. Spread the love around the globe. Spread the love around the globe. Let's go. So powerful. It's amazing. So far, the show has been amazing. So far, so I got to put my stamp on it and say, and so far, it's been nothing but fire. Everybody is killing it. Everybody is doing their thing, bringing that heat. And that's what we want every single time, right? Hit me in the fields, right? Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. All right, so look, as we roll right along, y'all are blazing a path, and it's amazing. So coming up next, show some love. Give it up for Progress. Show Progress some love. Let's go.
She laid on her bed, innocently sleeping like a baby. They busted through her doors of her own house, with their guns all high and mighty, fatally shooting. The blood of a daughter, a niece, a sister, and a girlfriend permanently attached to those cops' hands. They know who they are and they know what they did. Because of this, her mother is going to be weeping for eternity. She was wrongly accused. It was all a misunderstanding, right? We are not the enemy here. If only her loved ones could hear the breath of living once more, then maybe, just maybe, could have all been better. He was a gentle giant, but in their eyes they carried the force of a lion. They pushed him down, his face on the ground of the firm, dirty streets of Minneapolis. Their hard police boots on the cheek of his soft, adult-like skin. His neck bones cracked so hard, even Rochester heard it. The crowd gathers. They watch as this innocent Black man is beaten to a pulp. Frowns on faces, cell phones recording, the yelling, the shouting, the pleading. Please stop. What did he do? He did nothing wrong. Why are you doing this? Then a plea for his mother to save him. She wasn't there. She didn't even get to say goodbye. With his final minutes, he leaves, a statement so memorable, but so scary at the same time. I can't breathe. People go on to social media, expressing their anger of the police, treating their lives as a trash can, expressing their sadness of yet another loss of their fellow brother and sister. The families asking for everyone to pray for them to get through this difficult time. In response, we send our letters up to heaven, hoping that it gets delivered and mailed back to us. But it wasn't our fault. We did nothing wrong. We were just trying to protect, we just thought wrong. You thought wrong. Because of them, the world lost two angels. They had their lives ahead of them, and you just threw it away like a piece of paper. How could you? How could you? Oh, but don't worry. You will remember their names. Their names will haunt you every day of your life. Their names will be pierced on your back, just like that knife. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Make some noise, snap it up, give it up, show some love for Progress. Definitely dope, man. Again, like I'm loving like the authenticity of everybody and the way in which you all are performing and the way in which your confidence is exuding through your words and through your performances. Very good, very good. We got yes, we got very deep, we got love, your performance style. Thank you for that. Right? This is what it's all about, people. We're just continuing to show love, cutting people right there in the heart, making it feel good, making us think, taking our mindsets to a higher place, and doing it together as a community. Even in this virtual world, we are still pushing forward and giving our all and being our best selves and cannot beat it. All right, So as we continue to push forward, we want to move on and move to our next poet. Soteria, show some love. Give it up for Soteria. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Whoa. Look me in my eyes when I'm speaking to you. Look me in my eyes because it took so much for me to be able to look you in yours. My eyes are up here, staring in your direction, longing to hold a connection, wanting to know what you're thinking, waiting to enter the gates of your soul and hoping that that sparkle in your eye is a sign of the light to your North Star. Because I know what that light can do for someone like you in your dark brown eyes. Look at me. Really look at me. Because when I look at you, I see a hint of blue on your black skin. That can only mean one thing. Did you see it coming? Or were your eyes closed? Anticipating the impending impact of the blow, I see red under your eyes. Did you see the blood red flags? Did you see the flags waving in your face, or to you? Does blood taste like sweet days, your Juneteenth, in celebration that you have survived? Are you delusional or an optimist? Or are you very much aware and just scared to see that you too have been enslaved? Leading you to behave timid and hesitant to pick up that brush, beating your face, trying to cover up the beating he gave you. Now look at yourself. Really look at yourself. Your eye painted with the mark of the Nile, ruined by salt water like tears, acquired through the triangle trade route, exchanging yourself for who he wants you to be. You. The one who said that could never happen to me, you're in chains now. Look at your hands. You hadn't noticed the dripping blood from your fingers as they are stripped down from the thorns of the cotton stem. You just keep picking. Told not to look him in his eyes. You kept your head down for so long. You have a hunched back. You just keep picking and picking. Society too picks on you. The most disrespected person in America is a black woman. And you are a black woman. It's your hands that help cultivate the very soil that they stand on. It's your roots that their fruit have stemmed from. I am a black woman. Keep looking at yourself. Because when I look at you, I see you, black woman. Thank you.
Yeah, Soteria, great job, great job. Thank you for that. Representation definitely matters. And it's great when you're able to represent who you are and understand your power. Thank you for that piece. Somebody said, slay the mic. Wow, you are a gift. The most disrespectful thing in the world, the most disrespected person in the world is a black woman. You are incredible. You are delusional. Or you an optimist, right? Some really powerful lines. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that piece. And that is what it's all about. Again, I keep saying that because it is. It's all about us sharing, vibing. No better place to be on a Thursday afternoon, man, than spitting some poems with your poetry people. So that's what it's all about. Youth Poet Laureate, semi-finals going down. All right. Our next poet coming to the mic. Show some love. Give it up for my main man, Joseph.
I think it's funny how 3 months into the school year, I still haven't met most of my teachers. How my classmates are just frozen stock photos on a screen. I mean, sometimes it seems like the only connection we have is with the Wi-Fi signal. And even that's pretty dismal. Staring at a backlit blue light display for hours a day like a great education is just a click away. It's easy to get lost in all the documents and PowerPoints. I wish I had the power to point to a solution, but I don't. I'm just living my life through a computer screen. Windows is my window to the outside, and sometimes all I see is chaos. the world becoming more and more frightening with every strike of lightning that lands on NBC or CNN. I don't see an end to this anytime soon. And yeah, I may be terrified, but there are likely many others like me who think the chance of success and survival is unlikely. Can someone unmute their mics, please? No? Anyone? Okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is I miss when things were normal. I miss waking up and complaining about going to school. I miss when my biggest concern was the homework I might have forgotten to do. I miss just having meaningful interactions with teachers and classmates, learning important things in and out of the classroom, just being present and making memories. It's hard to communicate those things through a website. You can't just download meaningful experiences. But I guess we're all just trying our best. After all, it's a privilege to be where I am. I'm just losing a year of high school, while others are losing their jobs, their families, their rights, even themselves. Ooh, whoops, sorry. I miss going to school, but I can't just think about myself. Not when everything going on affects everyone else so deeply. So I'll keep doing my part to make things better. Even if that means going to virtual school or just wearing a mask for a while, then that's okay. Because the well-being of others is far more important than my discomfort. You see, empathy is something that's crucial to the human experience, and I think we need it now more than ever. So please, whenever you feel frightened or annoyed by all the new developments or restrictions, remember that we're all just working towards a goal, a future that's safer, healthier, and better for everyone. If we can all just commit to it, then we may be able to achieve it. Thank you.
Yeah, give it up for Joseph one more time. Show him some love. That is exactly what it's all about. I love those lines, man. Someone said, yes, Joseph doing his thing. Glad we got to hear a COVID piece. This is very deep. Joseph poems are dope. Mari says she thinks about Joseph's poems all the time. Yes, I love how you talked about empathy and thinking about the greater good. It's an eye opener. Yes, OMG, y'all are so good. Really went crazy. Yes, man. And I love, I'm all about the car poetry too. You know what I'm saying? Car chronicles, car poetry is always dope. So listen, give it up for every single poet to touch the mic right now. Show some love, clap it up, snap it up, whatever you need to do in the virtual world, show that love. We have 12, 13 hot poets coming and spitting nothing but fire, because that is what it's all about. And again, judges have a very hard job right now. Okay, so actually we are going to, we're gonna roll one more. Are we rolling that one back? Looks like we have one more. Are we repeating that poem again? Okay, so we are good. We are good. All right. Everybody has gone, and that is great. Good job, everybody. So listen, we're gonna give some time for the judges to tally their scores and let our scorekeeper tally the score. But in the meantime, I want to give a quick shout out to Studio NPL and the Nashville Public Library, because without them, we would not be able to have this event. Also, as always, Tennessee Arts Commission and the Metro Arts Commission for showing love and doing exactly what they do. And so we also are going to have some poets come in and give us a little something right quick while we are getting these scores tallied up. So we want to go ahead and bring our first judge to the mic, who's going to be performing as well. So put our fingers together, show some love, give it up for Emily. Show Emily some love, everybody. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
All right. Hello, everyone. This poem is called Sharks. What they conveniently forget to tell you. When you grow up in a body read as feminine by gazing males all too eager to open the book of your life, flip through the pages with their grubby fingers and make a diagnosis to prescribe a cure for your pain, is that, hey, baby, smile for me, takes many different forms. There must be something so deep in the heart of a man that cannot abide by a woman whose sadness is large enough to drain all the oceans and replace them with her tears. A woman has never told me that I should write a happy poem, never suggested that I should see the brighter side of life, as if the brighter side was somehow more true than the shadows. A woman has never told me I stopped reading what you write a long time ago. It was just depressing, even though both my father and my ex-boyfriend did within 2 weeks of each other, neither of whom could have ever held me in the tension. But that is neither here nor there, because hey baby, smile for me sometimes sounds like well-meaning advice. It sometimes sounds like someone trying to throw you a life preserver while you're trying to explain that actually you're not drowning, you're fine, you can swim. You've been swimming with the sharks since the day you were born and they won't hurt you. They're your friends. You've actually named some of them. If I wanted to rescue myself, I could. But I learned long ago that trying to escape the demon of my fear is a fool's errand in the highest degree. There is no escaping fear or sadness or pain. There is only riding alongside of it. There is only learning to use it as gasoline rather than a bucket of water on the fire of your heart's biggest dreams. I wish a man would say to me, hey baby, feel your feelings. Whatever they are and whoever you turn out to be is okay by me. But honestly, I'm still waiting. And in the meantime, I will tell every man who tells me to write a happy poem like it's a novel idea that no one has ever suggested to me before, and he might finally be the one to save me from myself. Every man who asks me why my poems are so sad because he can't see the lifetime of being asked that question behind my eyes. Every man who assumes I must be like this because someone hurt me and not because the world hurt me, like a mother in labor is hurt by the child she is giving birth to, questioning me for refusing an epidural. Thank you, sir. I will keep that in mind. And then I'll return to the sharks, the only ones who really understand what it's like to be told you are scary when you're just trying to live your life. Thanks, y'all. It's been a pleasure to judge you tonight.
Give it up for Emily. Yeah, Emily, that was fire. You didn't have to do it like that. Came, crushed the building. Dope, dope, dope. Very dope. God, thank you for that. I felt this so much, right? Relatable. She is speaking my mind, period. So engaging, right? This is what it's all about. Like, dope. This is very dope, very dope, very good stuff, very good stuff. All right, so we got one more special poet coming through again. Show some love. Give it up for my man, Rashad. Y'all show him some love.
He fit the description. 6 feet 2 inches, athletic physique, pale skin that turns salmon when his heart rate is elevated, a navy shirt, navy pants, a gold-plated badge, a firearm hosted on his side. We must investigate him and interrogate him because he fits the description. He fits the description of the perpetrator down to the T, right down to the clammy hands and the jumpy demeanor. We cannot afford to give him the benefit of the doubt when he fits the description that hundreds of thousands of eyewitness accounts and video surveillance and all of the stories check out. We know it's possible that it's not him, but we can't afford the luxury to think that. We must be ready to react because the perpetrator is considered consistently armed and consistently dangerous. So be prepared and proceed with caution. You never know when you'll be fired upon. We won't blame you if you feel triggered because being Black in America is a dangerous job and your training dictates any reaction is justified. After all, you feel feared for your life. He fit the description. And you did what you needed to do. The media will try to blame you, but remember your life matters too. And if he didn't want this to happen, he shouldn't have dressed as one of the bad ones. He shouldn't have been in the neighborhood where a certain behavior from his kind is the norm. He should have respected you when you asked for an explanation of why he was there. He shouldn't have looked and acted like the perpetrators. So no need to ask questions, no need to gather more information. You can't assume that he is innocent because the same assumption has never, ever been afforded to you. All we know is that he fit the description.
Wow, very dope piece, man. Thank you for that. Show some love, give it up, give it up. Yeah, man, definitely. Shouldn't have dressed like the bad one. That's that one right there, right? This hoodie's that's the bad one, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I love it. His differently eyes and ears have been blessed. Man, once again, shout out to every single poet that stepped on this virtual stage, that grabbed this virtual mic. You all did it. I don't care if this was your first slam, your second slam, your first time performing, your fifth time performing, your 100th time performing. Everybody did their thing. So amazing. And so I will continue to say this, right? It doesn't matter what you do after this as far as what place or any of those things. None of those things matter. What matters right now is that you know you have a gift. You know you have a voice to affect change, and you have a voice that's powerful. So moving forward, use your voice. Keep using your voice. You know what I'm saying? Let this be a place where you can start to build with each other, build with other poets. You know, you can kind of see like now, hey, this is what I want to do and where I want to take myself as a writer. Then do that. Keep on building with us. Southernword.org. For all my people who are watching on YouTube, go to southernword.org to learn more about our organization and about what we do, and about how these amazing young people are making things happen every single day. So I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get to what y'all are here for. 3 poets are moving on to December the 11th, State of the Word. It's going down 12/11/2020. Y'all know it's different this year. Won't be a live State of the Word, but it's still going to be live because we're going to have amazing poets who are doing amazing things, got an amazing venue hosting. And so it's going down. So let's jump right into it. All right, here we go. Here we go. I need some love in the chat. Just give me some kind of sign. Throw me some L's up. Throw me some P's up for poetry or something. Throw me something in the chat. So if y'all want these answers, I need it. I need some energy. Let's go. Get the drum roll popping. Yeah, I want y'all to know I love y'all. We ready. Good luck. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going to do it like this. First poet moving on to the Youth Poet Laureate Finals is going to be Joseph Moody from Martin Luther King Jr. Magnet. Show Joseph some love. He's moving on to the finals. Joseph's in there. That's what's up. On his way to the finals. All right. Our second poet that is moving on to the finals. Drum roll, please. Show some love. Make some noise. Give it up for Charlotte Edwards from Hume Falk High School, Magnet High School. Show some love for Charlotte. Charlotte's on her way. Give it up for Charlotte, y'all. Show her some love. Love in the chat. Love in the chat. That's what's up. That's what's up. And our third and final poet to round out the top 3 poets who will go to State of the Word to perform and try to become the next Youth Poet Laureate will be Mari Shields representing Overton High School. Show some love for Mari, good people. Show some love, show some love. So once again, give it up for the top 3 poets heading over to the Youth Poet Laureate Finals. Charlotte, Joseph, and Mari making their way. Congratulations. Congratulations to every single poet who performed. You guys are amazing. Everybody did their thing. Again, keep writing, keep showing love, keep showing up, and keep doing your thing, because there is definitely more to come. All right. With that being said, we gonna hang tough. YouTube, we love y'all. Thank y'all for coming and rocking with us. Thank you to our judges once again for coming and rocking with us. And we are out. Peace.